The big why.
Assalamu alaikum, my dear viewers. Today, me and brother Muhammad will be answering some of the toughest questions you, my dear viewers, have in mind. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam.
How are you?
I'm very well. How are you?
Alhamdulillah. Ready?
I'm ready. Are we going to be expecting a phone call soon?
Yep.
Any minute now?
Inshallah.
Let's wait for it. Where do you think the person's going to call from?
America.
America. That's ambitious. Let's see. It's ringing. Let's go.
Assalamu alaikum, the big guy. Can I take your name, please? And where are you calling from? I'm joking. Southampton.
Southampton. Okay.
And what's the question, please? Before, okay, I'll pass on your question to brother Muhammad, and in the meantime, if you have any other questions, please call back, and yeah. Ma'assalam. So,
Okay.
Southampton, you lost.
Southampton.
We both lost.
We both lost.
So Eunice from Southampton has a question. How do I know that there really is heaven and hell?
Ooh, how
That's
do I
tough
really
one.
know that there's heaven and hell?
You're not going to pull this one.
Let's see. I'll try my best. How do we know that there really is a heaven and a hell? I mean, the first and most obvious answer to say is because, well, Allah told us there's a heaven and hell, right? And if we trust Allah, then Allah told us there's a heaven and hell. Clearly in the Quran, many times, it says this is what is happening on the Day of Judgment, and on the Day of Judgment, you're either going to go to heaven or you're going to go to hell.
What about the people that don't trust Allah?
This is where things get really interesting. How can we basically know that there's heaven and hell by our daily lives right now? Every single day, when we live in our lives, how can we actually realize that there's heaven and hell just by looking at our own daily lives? A lot of people, when they live their day-to-day life, they're actually living in hell right now. And other people, every single day right now, they're living in heaven. What I mean by that is there's some people who, every single day, the way in which they build their lives around them are so negative and are so depressing, and they feel so dark and deep in their hearts. That basically is the description of what hell is. So they're living hell right now. They don't need to wait till the Day of Judgment. They've built a hell around them right now. Meanwhile, there are some people who every single day for them, there's so much peace and there's so much joy and there's so much gratitude that actually they already have a heaven in this life right now. So we already have many heavens and many hells in this life right now. And you can develop those and you can create those for ourselves right now in this earth. So that's one way of looking at it, is that heaven and hell, actually, you don't have to wait till the Day of Judgment to experience heaven and hell. Right now in this life, you can experience a mini version of heaven and a mini version of hell, because when Allah describes to us what heaven and hell are, it's all about it's a feeling as much as it is a place, right? It's about what's happening in here as much as it is about what's happening to you. And there are so many people in this life, day in, day out, who are experiencing glimpses of heaven, and other people who are experiencing glimpses of hell. And what Allah promises us that on the Day of Judgment, that's going to get taken up. I can imagine the volume is really low. Allah on the Day of Judgment is going to say, well, whatever you were living in this life, actually, we're going to turn up the volume on that. If you're living in heaven on this life, then great. If you're living in hell on this life, you're going to experience more of that.
MashaAllah, you have such a beautiful way of emphasizing and explaining these types of things.
Alhamdulillah, I try my best. I mean, thank you for such great questions from the people at home. And I pray to God that anything that I say resonates. And if it does, then amazing.
Eunice, if you're watching, I hope you understood and benefited from the answer Brother Muhammad gave. And as always,
Ma'as salama.
ma'as salama.
The big why.